Welcome back to the channel. Today I bring you Monolith Arena, a game from Portal Games, from the designer Michał Oracz. I don't know. And you can see the vibe here from the box, the lead, that from the artwork. We have this clashing of factions here. We can see dwarves, elves, orcs, kind of humans, and you also have these monoliths. You see the monoliths, which is an advanced rule, but brings the name to the game, the Monolith Arena, right? 4 factions: the Human Empire, the Dwarves Guardian, Elven Forests, and the Lords of the Abyss. Let's see what is inside Monolith Arena. So there's a manual here, which has some publicity for other games of Portal Games. By the way, there's also a catalog, and I love to see these things. A catalog from Portal Games. Trying to see the year. Not clear what the year is. Robinson Crusoe, Imperial Settlers. I don't own these games. Cry Havoc. Neither Cry Havoc. Tides of Madness I have, and Tides of Time. That's a simple card game. These two I own, but I haven't played yet. First Martians, The Detective, and there's the Monolith Arena. We'll see that, and Robinson Crusoe. Okay. So just to give you an overview of the manual, because it's not a small manual, but maybe because, as you can see, there are big icons here. It's quite open and the layout is quite friendly. The description of all the tiles. So these factions will be very unique. The tiles will have also unique abilities, so that's why you have all these explanations. We're talking about a tile placement game on an hexagon board, as you will see, like this. And so there are lots of examples. And there's the art again from the box. There are lots of examples, including rules for 2 versus 2. Single player versus a team play rules. Yeah, there's lots of variants. That's the board. It's quite a small board. It doesn't unfold. It's all the content, all the rules, but just for this small board where you will put your tiles and clash here. You can see on the back, this is representing some kind of arena. You see there an arena with an entry there, an entry there, an entry here, an entry here for 4 factions to clash on this Monolith Arena. So let's take a look at these factions then. So when you start the game, you choose one of the factions, you get this reference sheet, and you'll learn a bit about the lore and the features and the specific abilities of this faction. Okay, so I'll explain how the game works, but as you can see, humans or the Dragon Empire, I say humans, but yeah, their features are cavalry, which allows them to charge, attack, focus attack, etc. You have the banner, which is your base. The champions are things like pikemen, knights, dragon riders, swordsmen, lansknecht, and arquebusier. They're coming up with strange names. The runes are also tiles that will affect the combat and the combat zone, and then the orders is where you assign things to happen. So basically this part is very similar to each other, and then the differences, the main differences will be here on the champions. Okay. Then we have the Lords of the Abyss. Lords of the Abyss. So you see there's immediately a big difference between them. This one just says this about the faction, and then the Lords of the Abyss have, before we go into the units, they have here features that are very different, including causing venom. The amount of battle orders seem to be different as well, so this is a very symmetric game. You also have a banner, a base, and then the champions, you can expect things like a Megalomorph, the Spike, Chaos, like Chaos Space Marines, Horrors, Nightmares, Raids, and Demons. And the runes will work a little bit different. It's that kind of game that you, in order for you to explain to other people, you really need to know a bit of all the factions to be able to advise Harbingers of the Forest. It's a bit different, the name, from what was written in the box. So these are the Elven Forests. Orders, and then common problems. And on the other side, even the layout is different here. So you have the banner, and then you have Morlocks, Sparks, Hunters, Sorcerers, Armies, Assassins, and Worms. And runes that work a little bit different. Last but not least, the Guardians of the Realm. Lots of different orders. Then the problems, the features, and the units. Axeman, Crossbowman. Is it man? Or dwarves? Veteran, Golem, Combat Platform. It's like a robotic thing. Pupil, and Wyvern. There's also all the factions seem to have like a big boss. And the runes. Okay. So what else you have? So for every faction you have, now you see a bag which includes the units and the orders, and separated, at least on my layout, you have these plastic pieces which are the monoliths, where you put your there's a specific variant for the monoliths that I will explain later, but in my setup they are separated a bit. Then also tokens that represent the damage on the units, the differences in modifiers on the initiative, and some advanced things here to be used as advanced modules. Okay, so let's take a look here at some of these tokens. See, this is from the Blue Dragon Empire faction. Okay, and this is a rune. Okay, this rune, I'm going to show you a bit how this works, an overview, by using as an example here. Let me just change the layout to facilitate that. Okay. So if you place this runes and all the runes, they have these links here. So if they link to a friendly unit, like for example, if there is a friendly unit here, their effect will affect the friendly unit. So in this case, this is called the Rune of Strength. It increases the strength of all melee attacks by 1. Normally units give 1 damage, which is 1 damage and it kills, right? If there is no protection. So this will allow the unit to do damage. So it's good against shields or other types of barriers, as we'll see. Then we have, who's this fellow? This fellow is called the Pikeman. So Pikemans attack in these directions when it gets to the initiative phase of level 2. So there are different initiatives. Just finding here another example. This one is also level 2. This one is also level 3. So the highest initiative starts first, inflicts damage, you remove the casualties, and then you go 1 level down. Could be the level 2, all of them attack. Then there's level 1, level 0, etc. Okay, so that's what you have here. And then they attack all the hostile that you have facing these directions. Okay, so if you have this one here, and imagine there is an hostile creature, I'm gonna get an hostile one here, like hostile, a green hostile. Yep. So this guy here has initiative 2. It will attack first, then the initiative ones. So this will take 1 damage and pop, is gone. He never has a chance to attack. So you need to strategically place them in a way that you avoid those things to happen. Another example it would be the Dragon Rider. So we can see there is a dragon, someone riding it. This guy is very focused, so he only attacks in front and attacks 3 times. And you see this black thing here. So this is called an armor. So it's an armor, and if it receives attacks from this direction, ranged attacks, the armor will protect him. So he also has this symbol here which allows him to move. That's the move action. So you'll be able to move to any adjacent unoccupied space and rotate it. Okay. And then there's also the charge icon here. This is the healing rune that gives an extra life to the linked champions. This is the initiative rune, gives +1 initiative, and you can use these tokens to increase that. The normal character that attacks in these directions. So instead of champions, you also have orders. That's how you initiate battles. You can initiate a battle with this, or you can, when all the board is completed with tiles, then it forces a battle to happen. So this is, if you want to be the one starting it, if the battleground is favorable to you, you should start there. Or you can do that, instead of that, you can do a charge. So this is a faction that is very strong on charges. Just removing them to find what we haven't seen. There's this different knight here. It's called a, no, it's not a knight. It's that strange name, the lance snatch. So also armor. And the attacks. If he attacks from the left, it's going to be 2 attacks. From the right, it's just 1. Strange. It's one you take the shield, the other one you take just the stabbing. There's also ranged. When you see the fireball here, so that's a ranged unit. So basically the range units, he attacks on this direction, but he ignores friendly units and banners, and he hits the first hostile. Imagine something like this, he would hit that, and if it hits like this, he would ignore that friendly unit and hit that for 1 point. So ranged guys are also powerful and should be used strategically. I think we've seen, no, we haven't seen this one. This is a knight, which has lots of armor, lots of features here, which includes an extra armor. So you can block 1 extra damage with the armor feature. And I'm not sure about the terms here, but there's also armor. He has armor. And no, this is not armor. No, it looks like a shield. It's toughness, extra toughness. Looks like it. So this guy attacks in all directions. Yeah. Let's see another faction. I'm using now the green example to explain how the game is won or lost. So this is the base or a banner for every faction has one. Okay. So this would be the green one. So imagine that it was deployed here in the beginning of the game, and then you have this person, this enemy champion attacking it. So it's going to give 1 damage in this example. So you start at 20 life points, a la Magic the Gathering, and every hit you take on your banner, you go down, and then there's the whole way around until you get to 0 here. If you get to 0, then you're out. And if you're playing 2, that means you lose the game. But if you're playing with more players, if you get to a point where you've deployed all your, because you'll have a pile of these things and you'll be taking them. If you get to a point that you run out of tiles, then you need to do the final battles with whatever is available there, and then the healthiest banner wins the game. Okay, so banners are very important base for your strategy, and you should know how to protect them. They also give you a point. So for example, this one is the one that allows movements for placed tiles. Normally you cannot move a tile once you place a champion, but if you're linked to the banner, the green banner, that gives you that extra movement where you could place them differently. So also the banners, the base, they also have swords, so they are able to attack whoever attacks back. Okay, so this counts as not as a champion, but also an aggressive unit if you want to. So that's it. This faction also comes with runes for increasing initiative. It gives 1 extra ranged attack here. In terms of orders, you have the attack orders, the move orders, typical ones. Also has the healing rune. Okay. And then when it comes to units per se, let's see, for example, this is called the Spark. The Spark is a ranged attacker in 2 directions, like a bowman, simple bowman. Yeah. There's this guy here. This guy is different. You can see there's a difference there. So this is an hunter. The hunter is also ranged, so this is a very ranged faction. The thing with the hunter is that, as you can see, he has 2 initiatives. So he will attack on initiative step 3, but also he will attack again on the initiative step 0, which is the last attack. So well placed, this guy can take out 2 characters if you place it correctly. This is what's the name? The assassin. We've seen that before. So the assassin has only attacks on 1, but then he has a sword here. As you can notice, there's no swords, no directional attacks. It just has this symbol. It means that when he gets to the initiative 1 step, he is able to deal 1 melee damage to any tile in the board, including banners. So this guy is like unlimited reach, very dangerous there. So more orders, more runes. Now this guy is called the sorcerer, more range, another range, 2 attacks, nothing special there. Another assassin, hunters. So what else do we have here? We have this strange guy here. You see this monster? It's called the Morlock. So at the beginning of the battle, before the initiative phases, the Morlock just attacks the adjacent enemy indicated by this. So he has no initiative. He just attacks before everything, even if you have your initiative 6, 5, whatever. He just attacks first. The big monster for this faction here is the worm. So he attacks all the adjacent ones. He just attacks everything. Attacks twice, and he also has a move. Be careful, it looks like the worm from Dune. There's the Ernie. The Ernie is like I don't know what this monster is. He moves and he attacks melee there. And I think that's it. Oh, there's also some special runes here. Yeah, I'm looking at here and see that there are some special runes. This rune is the double attack. The double attack there. And this order is also different. Is the precise shot deals 1 wound to any enemy on the board, but doesn't work on banners. So similar to the assassin, but doesn't go on banners. Time to visit the Guardians of the Realm. New orders here. This is called the Fire Connection. Deals 1 wound to 3 tiles, enemy or friendly, so be careful. Area damage on spaces adjacent to each other in the configuration shown on the icon of the tile. So you see there, those 3 connected tiles, you choose 3 of them, and everything gets 1 wound, including yours, so be careful. So some runes, the healing rune, and then this one here that's a strange one. Gives a melee, and it's called the Rune of Reinforcement, which increases strength of melee and ranged. Yeah, these guys are more aggressive than I thought. They are called, at least for now, they're called the Guardians, like the defenders. You thought like this is going to be the tanks, but then they're now showing orders that are very aggressive. So this is the push. It's kind of a hand here, pushing here. Choose an enemy tile to be pushed by an adjacent tile you control. So it's like a get away from here and go there for me to throw a bomb or something. Yeah, those are kind of the orders I get here. Let's move here and see these champions. Starting with this guy. It's a golem. It looks like a golem. Yeah, you can see there's the artificial eyes getting illuminated. So the golem has armor coming from there. He also has 2 toughness. But this guy doesn't damage. Oh, he cannot attack. Yes, he cannot attack. So this guy is a defensive. Oh, now they are turning more defensive. This guy is just to put in front of something to help not to get hit. Healing. What else? Who's this guy? Ranged? Yeah, called the veterans. No, not a veteran. The crossbowman, sorry. Crossbowman. He attacks twice, ranged, and he also has a toughness here. These guys are tough to kill. Another golem. Attacking orders. Oh, another order. So this is a turnaround order. Rotation. Rotates any friendly tile freely. And you cannot do that on net. So we'll see some factions that throw some nets. Yeah, so it doesn't work on them because those are paralyzed. Look at that guy. Armor there, 4 attacks. Yeah, that's a veteran. That's a tough guy to kill. There's a movement order. There's a shield order as well. Ooh, go figure. It's called entrenchment. You choose a friendly tile, which includes the banner, and that gives a toughness with the toughness marker. So yeah, reinforce someone. More bombs, more double attacks, more. Whoa, look at that. That's a range attack that becomes a penetration. A range attack of a friendly connected tile can strike multiple enemies in a single. Okay. So you transform a ranged attack into an area attack? No, it's not an area attack. Can strike multiple enemies is a single attack. All enemy tiles in a line of fire. Oh, line of fire. Okay, so that's why it's called the Rune of Penetration, because it just goes through everything. Makes perfect sense. Just goes like and hits everything. There's another crossbowman. Oh, this one is different. Who is this guy? It's a drunker. It's a pupil. Yeah, just gives a melee attack, and he moves, and he has strong initiative, so he can kill first. Wow, we haven't seen these two. Okay, this is like a mechanical. No, it's a mechanical dragon. It's called a wyvern. Tough to kill, and he attacks all these directions. Yeah, but it's mechanical. It's not a true wyvern, because you can see there's a man controller, a dwarf controlling it. And this is another robotic character. It was called a combat platform. But it ranges in all these directions. Okay, so these guys look tough. These guys look tough. There's another dwarf. I think we've seen all of them. Yes, we've seen all of them. And the last faction is gonna be probably the strangest, the Lord of the Abyss. It's kind of demon kind of class here. Okay, so let's start picking tiles here. There's a different kind of rune here. This rune is called the Rune of Disarmament, which comes with some tokens. Okay, and adjacent enemy tiles, which include the banners, are treated as helpless as long as they are connected with this rune, and they cannot attack. They get like disarmed, right? So like scared or something, and they don't attack. Wow, look at these guys. This winged figure. So he has a sword. This is called a spike, and it gets venom. You see, there's a skull there. It inflicts venom. So venom is, you get a poison marker on tiles on the board. During the initiative phase of that poison character. So these are the poison markers. So basically, if you attack with this character, you don't kill, but the character stays with the poison marker. Then later on, when it starts that battle phase, the character takes 1 damage immediately in the beginning, and if it dies, it dies. There's no battle, but it will stay and accumulate damage. Oh, super dangerous here, super dangerous. What else? What's this guy? Kind of a ghost that teleports. So this is the ability to teleport. It's the rate. It can teleport, and teleport is you can move a tile with teleport to any empty space once and rotate into any direction. Wow, it's better than the snipers. You can just go wherever is needed. Who is this guy? Yes, is the death. No, wait a second. It's a chaos. He has a melee attack and also range. Yeah, very strange. And an armor from that direction. Very versatile. Melee, range, armor from there. Cool. So rune to heal. We've seen the poison one. Double attack. What else here? Another teleport. So this guy doesn't do anything. Doesn't do anything in terms of damage. It's called a nightmare. It teleports anywhere, and then he puts a net. So the net is again on other tiles that are specific for this class, and you just paralyze whoever has the net. Cannot attack, and that's it. It cannot move. Who's this fellow? It's the Megalomorph. It's just a melee attacker. This is very Chaos Space Marine, right? Because it almost looks like he is combining machinery, armor, but no, it's purely organic. Doesn't have mechanical legs. It almost looks like that. Battle order, disarmament. There's also initiative rune, move order, strength there. Oh, this one is different. Initiative 0. So this guy is gonna be the last one. It's the horror. It nets, it melees. Strange melee and net at the same time, right? because if you die, if he kills, there's no net, but maybe you need to use it for big bosses or guys with really big toughnesses. There's the teleport rune to give teleport somewhere. Oh, look at that guy. That's the demon. That's one. It only has one. That's the big boss. He melees, double melees all these directions, and has the transformation ability. When you place this tile, you choose another tile from an enemy, which could not be the banner, and you just replace that tile with this one. That's the transformation. So it transforms into the demon, and it cannot be protected by runes of regenerations and stuff like that. So this guy just goes in and transforms. Very powerful, like an ultimate attack. Ultimate attack. I think that's it. Let's see what else we have here. I think we've seen all of them. Yes, we've seen all of them for this faction. A final note here for the monoliths. So the game is called the Monolith Arena, and we haven't talked about monoliths. That's because that's an advanced mode of playing. And these are the monoliths, these 3 plastic trays. One of them, and on top, needs to be your banner. And then in the beginning of the game, you can choose you choose secretly 2 of your champions, and you place here on the bottom trays. So I'm just gonna do this randomly, okay? So no one sees, and you close that, okay? And this will be the monolith. When you place your banner, you'll be placing the whole monolith, right? And then throughout the game, you'll be drawing on your turn tiles for you to decide to place it or to discard. And then throughout the game, if you're playing with the monolith version, then you can, one thing that you can do on your turn is you can unfold the monolith in a way that they are all connected, which means that you just give visibility to whatever you have below, right? So you can use the abilities. If you don't have space to unfold the monolith, you cannot do that, okay? And if one of these units gets killed, this is an open space in the board that can be filled by your units or by any other enemy unit. Then after any battle, if there is a battle that happens and the monolith is unfolded, then you are forced to fold back the monolith, okay? And the banner stays on top of it, and whatever was inside goes back in the way you see. So this was it. This was the Monolith Arena. A very strange name. The name Monolith is not like a core thing, but still gives the name to the game. I hope you like this video. I'm dying to try this game for the first time and see how all these things really work. Selecting the tiles, discarding the tiles, placing the tiles, doing the battles, using the monoliths or not. But if so, if you liked the video, don't forget to hit that like button and consider subscribing. I have this huge playlist full of board games for you to explore, as well as major playlists for all the major card games as well. And if you like podcasts, I have my own podcast called The Table Talks, where I'm interviewing people while playing board games with them. So I definitely think that you will find interesting content to consider subscribing and to be part of this community. Thank you, and I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.